You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Good morning. Welcome to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, and Calvin Butternut coming to you live from the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in Butternut, Wisconsin. Calvin is back at the ranch in Racine at Radio Park, and we are on the road. It is day 2 of On the Road with Matt Nair on Air and the Todd Alba Show. If you are in Butternut or Hayward or somewhere nearby, come on out and see us. Again, we're at the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in Butternut. We're going to be talking to the owner. Kelly Meredith is going to be joining us after 9:35. If you look behind us, you can see some of Kelly's incredible work that she does for cities and towns all across the country.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful.
It's really cool, and she's got some beautiful artwork here. There's stained glass and painting and jewelry and all kinds of things. I may have to do a little shopping after we get off the air.
We're really excited to be here. It's been a great time so far. We got into Park Falls last night a little bit late. You guys had a restaurant adventure.
We did.
And yeah, it's been wonderful. And we just want to thank everyone for being so lovely. And Darla Isham, who has been a key part of this portion of the journey. And Big G, yes.
And
of
Big G
course,
as well.
Big G
Yep.
will be, Darla will be joining us a little bit later in the show to talk about everything that's great Park Falls and Butternut.
Yep.
And Jane, this is important. This is an important day.
It is an important day.
Because you've now reached location 2 of your favorite places on earth that you have yet to visit.
I know. So
and
Butternut is off the list.
Butternut is out, and that means we're going to be taking applications for location 3, and I would like to put forth Wanderoos, if only for the name itself.
I'm on board with that.
Okay, great. If you have other suggestions, if you want to tell us places that we should visit that have, lovely magical quality about it, even just a fun name like You Bet Wisconsin, UBET.
That's another one that's on the list.
Yep, you can absolutely get in touch with us by, you can text us or call the numbers the same, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842, or get that Civic Media app on your phone, and you can text and or call as well. Or leave us a voice note.
Yep, we love that too.
Yes.
You can also leave a voice note. Hour number 2, Brittany Merlot will be here with weather and wine, so we'll get a little update, find out what's going to be happening across the weekend here across the state. And we're also going to be talking to Lena, who is with Lena's Northern Pines Resort. We're staying there tonight and tomorrow night. From what I have seen on the web, it's on Lake Butternut.
There's a lake.
Butternut has a lake.
Of course they do.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
And so we're going to be staying at Lena's Northern Pines Resort tonight and tomorrow. We're going to be talking more about that in hour number 2. And then Darla will be here for our audio sorbet portion. Another thing we're going to do after the 10:30 news, because Greg, Todd, and I found out shockingly.
What?
Does not know any Ole and Lena jokes. People, how is this possible? It's just wrong.
Hey guys, welcome to a segment called "Greg Gets Made Fun of," and he just found out about this segment 4 seconds ago.
He doesn't know. He's never heard an Ole and Lena joke. So after 10:30, start thinking about your favorite Ole and Lena jokes now. We would love to have you call in with those for our audio sorbet segment after the 10:30 news.
Are they FCC compliant?
Todd, most Ole and Lena jokes are pretty clean.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we would ask you to keep the Ole and Lena jokes clean. I think they usually are.
Yeah.
But that's coming up a little bit later on in the show. And then we will wrap it up as we always do with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. Today it's the Oh Nuts edition. It's a good one. I hope you can stick around for that. Did want to start off just with a little bit of politics before we turn to our attention to Butternut, now my second favorite place I have now been. With a little clip, I saw this morning as we were just setting up here. Mark Pocan
Oh boy.
and Derek Van Orden had a little exchange yesterday, and it has made national news. It's in the Daily Beast.
Yeah.
So, Calvin, I believe we have that clip. Let's play that clip from Wisconsin's Mark Pocan and Wisconsin's Derek Van Orden. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, nice move pulling up in your bike.
I mean,
In his suit.
I mean,
But anyway.
you pull. I mean, yeah. I don't really care what you wear on your motorcycle, but it was the whole like vroom vroom louder while they're talking. And by the way, another person in that shot is Tony Weed, a first-time congressman as well
From Green Bay.
From Green Bay, and he's like vroom vrooming over them, and he knows what he's doing. It's just that bully behavior he's doing.
And I guess I just don't see how this works in Derek Van Orden's favor. Because again, if you want to come out and defend this measure that you just voted for, this is your opportunity instead of just coming again with more insults. Granted, they've been insulting each other back and forth on social media. This has been going on for a while.
Yeah, and to be absolutely fair, Mark Pocan is incredibly good at his last name is Pocan. He's good at poking.
Yeah, he is.
He likes to do that on Twitter. He likes and he gets a fun reaction. But he also has serious questions. Why won't you debate this? Why won't you debate? Why won't you do town halls? Because the first question I think anyone of any real value is going to say, you told us SNAP benefit. And I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I think this bears repeating. It needs to be shared with your friends, especially those who might be on benefits. He said in a meeting, SNAP benefits would not go down a single nickel. Then he voted for the budget blueprint. Then he voted for the budget on the whole. Then after the Senate passed it back to the House 2 weeks ago, he voted for it again. And those measures to cut those benefits are inside that big bill for billionaires.
Yes.
And so he needs to stand up and defend that. And him vroom vrooming his vroom vroom while people are trying to have a conversation and then just walking up and just spouting nonsense. It doesn't. A distinguished gentleman. It does not make him.
Yeah. Again, I don't think for people who like that kind of attitude,
yes,
it's going to be great for DVO. He really took it to him and he stuck it to Pocan, and there are folks who will find that impressive, no doubt.
Yes.
But again, I don't know. I think I would love to see our political discourse be a little bit more elevated.
Well, and right now I'm just thinking about the people in Congressman Van Orden's district, the farmers, the
teachers,
the teachers, everybody who needs a little bit of help, needs a little bit of support, and wants to feel like that their representative are working on their behalf. This does not do them any good, and really, like the attitude of just pushing and shoving, it's all bully behavior. And he is really, I mean, if you look at his Twitter, if you look at and his Facebook, I mean, he's called out Pat Krylo quite a few times, and Pat has just told the truth.
He's told Pat to kick rocks.
He's told Pat to kick rocks. He told Dan to kick rocks. He doesn't come with substance, so what he does was he just flicks back, and that doesn't solve anything. If you have policy, and if you have policy you want to defend, go for it. Last week he was talking about the $1 billion for Medicaid in Wisconsin, which had never been brought up before, after the state budget and the federal budget had been passed.
Right.
He talked about and there was a story that came out about a week and a half ago of him getting on the phone with Tony Evers saying that he needs to save the rural hospitals. Well, guess what? We're going to have a harder time saving those rural hospitals when you vote for a bill that's absolutely gutting access to medical care, especially in the rural areas, which is needed most. When they close a hospital, that means folks have to drive maybe 30, 40, 50, an hour longer, if not longer, to get proper medical. And I'm sorry, I'm getting very ranty right now, but I've had like a lot of coffee. But I also want to put into this conversation, too, is when we talk about closing hospitals, we have to talk about the clinics that close, too. Those other smaller resources that really help people get the care they need. Those are gone as well.
Yes.
And those are gone because of the big bill for billionaires that Derek Van Orden voted yes for. And, yeah, your motorcycle is beautiful. It vroom vrooms all the vroom vroom day. But really, when it comes down to it, can't you defend your positions?
That would have been it. Again, this is your opportunity to at least try and get some shots in there about what this will do for people and how good this is.
Yes.
That was your chance, and instead, again, he just took the opportunity to come in and lob some cheap insults and kind of cast aspersions over Pocan's business and how he runs his business.
Yeah, I mean, and I will say Pocan took a dig at him for drunkenly tweeting at 1:30 in the morning, and I don't know if that's true, and I'm not going to say it is or isn't because I don't know. But while Pocan can definitely have some fun, he is also going to talk about the topics, the subjects that really affect us as Wisconsinites. And I know that because he comes on our show. He comes on. He's on Civic Media,
Yes,
talking about the important aspects of his work. And Derek Van Orton does not do that. He doesn't show up to town halls. He
likes very curated audiences.
Yeah, Twitter is his town hall apparently,
Yeah.
and
his Facebook page.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Again, you had a chance, I don't know, to at least say something with some substance, and you just came back with, I guess, what we've pretty much come to count on Derek Van Orden for, is acting like a bully.
I mean, at least I'll give him this. He's staying on brand.
That's true.
Yeah.
He is consistent.
He's very consistent.
He is absolutely consistent. That's one thing we can count on him for. Hey, when we come back, we pay taxes.
I do. I pay.
I know. I pay taxes.
I'm probably gonna. Hey, Jane, guess what? I'm probably gonna have to pay more now.
Yeah. Well, there's an article that hit in the Journal Sentinel this morning that I think is going to make a lot of us go, what? How are we spending, how are our lawmakers, rather, spending our tax dollars? We've got some details that are coming up. Stay with us. You're listening to Matt Nair on Air. We are on the road with the Todd Alba Show, coming to you live from the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in Butternut, Wisconsin. Come on
We did it,
by
Butternut.
and say hello. We have coffee. We have Kringle. We would love to meet you. Stay close. You're listening to Matt Nair on Air. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Good morning. Welcome to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair and Greg Mock coming to you live from the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in Butternut, Wisconsin. We got Sweet Cal B back in Racine, mining the board at Radio Park. And we are, like I said, on the road with the Todd Alba Show. We were at the EAA Museum yesterday. We had a little weather we had to deal with and then made our way up to Butternut last night. By the way, I wanted to give a shout out to John from Oshkosh, who said we should check out Players in Oshkosh. We had lunch there yesterday.
Oh my God, I had wonderful wings.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
So thank you for that heads up, John. And we just got another text come in. Hi, it's Isaac from Baraboo. Avoca is a beautiful city in Iowa County with a tributary running just north of it that you can float down the Wisconsin River.
Hey Todd, can we do a live show floating down the Wisconsin River?
We'll work on that. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would
if
be
we
the
could
most
actually do it while we're floating, that might be challenging. We could give it a shot. Thank you so much for that, Isaac. We will put that on the list. Avoca.
I thought that was a restaurant. It sounds like a very fancy restaurant that I would never be allowed to.
Welcome to Avoca.
Avoca.
Thank you very much.
Why aren't you wearing a suit?
If you have any other suggestions for us, please text them in at 855-752-4842. Coming up in just a little bit, Kelly Meredith, who owns the Fanatical Fish Gallery, is going to be joining us. If you are watching on the live stream, you can see this incredible work behind us. She does these portraits.
She does murals.
She does murals of important people from various communities, and she does this work for communities all over the country.
And from what she had, well, she'll talk more about it. Actually, I'll let her tell the story. But yeah, it's and they're when we drove in, it was like they're just everywhere.
They're beautiful.
Yeah,
they're just beautiful. So Kelly's going to be joining us coming up in just a little bit. Wanted to at least share this with you, and we'll include this in the show notes so you can read the article because I do think it's worth taking a peruse. From the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Francesca Pica, Mary Spacuzza, and Ann Kleber with the byline, Wisconsin legislature spent $26.2 million in taxpayer money on private attorneys since 2017. $26.2 million of taxpayer money. We have shelled that out to private law firms since 2017. This is pretty astonishing.
Jane, is it?
The vast majority of the spending just over $25 million, happened after Governor Tony Evers and Attorney General Josh Kaul were elected in 2018, defeating, of course, former Governor Scott Walker and Attorney General Brad Schimmel. The hike in spending followed a law that was passed by Republican lawmakers in December of 2018, giving the Assembly Speaker and the Senate Majority Leader the authorization to hire private lawyers with taxpayer money.
Well, it's good to know they at least know how to spend some money.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Todd Alba's former boss, Dale Schultz, who retired in 2015, slammed the skyrocketing legal fees as a, quote, spectacular waste of taxpayer dollars. $26 million could have bought a lot of child care, could have bought a lot of health care, could have bought a lot of education, unquote. Yes.
God
Yes.
bless Dale Schultz.
Seriously.
Like, I mean, I can't even imagine, and we can have this conversation another time when we're not in Butternut, but like the ability to be a Republican I think in a more traditional format is just impossible, and the only way you can speak truth to your own power is by doing it because he's not elected, and he doesn't worry about primaries. But this man speaks the truth. I mean, he's right. He's absolutely right. This is not a right or left statement. This is a statement that cares about people and the people of Wisconsin.
That's a lot of money, my friends.
$26 million on lawyers.
Since Evers took office, Evers has spent about $1.7 million on legal fees to outside groups. He often, however, relies on the State Department of Justice to represent him in his office. The hourly rates, though, that Evers pays are significantly lower than the rates that get billed to the legislature. Evers' office says it tries to minimize costs to taxpayers by negotiating down a lower rate. Not so much so with the Republicans.
And I think part of that has to be the fact that if we were in a place where this was Tony Evers' office has spent $26 million on lawyers, it would be a statewide scandal.
Yes.
It would be treated as such.
Yes.
I think one of the reasons why Tony Evers in his office and his staff choose to do what they are doing as far as expenditures on lawyers is because they know if it gets too high, that will become the story. Not about what it's
What
for,
it's for, yes.
but that's the story of spending the money. Whereas I guess Robin Voss, like I said before, you know, we have water we have lead that needs to be cleaned up, water that needs to be cleaned up, hospitals, we got education, child care, all this stuff. But it's good to know they know at least how to open the purse for something.
Again, according to this article, the Governor Evers tries to negotiate lower fees so taxpayers don't have to pay so much. The Republicans, however, and again, in this article, there are more specifics about the firms that the GOP chooses to use. They pay $500 an hour.
Jeez.
And
I'll bet
there are a couple ties
that's
as well.
Yeah,
Seems like some little friendly work.
I was going to say.
Little friendly jobs that are going to certain law firms and things like that. But again, I highly encourage you to read this entire article. It's very, very interesting. I would be just as outraged if the Democrats were doing it.
I would be disappointed.
This shouldn't be a thing.
There it is.
Political
edition.
Shouldn't be a thing.
Stick around for This Shouldn't Be a Thing at 10:50 this morning. Oh, Nuts Edition.
Oh, Nuts Edition. Stay close. You are listening to Matt Nair on air. When we return, we're talking about the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in Butternut, Wisconsin. Don't go away. You're listening to the Civic Media Radio Network. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome to Matt Nair on air. Jane Matt Nair and Greg Bach coming to you live from Butternut, Wisconsin. We are at the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in downtown Butternut. If you are in the area, we are here until 11 o'clock this morning. Stop on by. We brought Kringle. We have coffee and much, much more, and so much to see here at the Fanatical Fish Gallery. Are the owner of this place, good heavens,
Kelly
sitting
Meredith.
right next to me, Kelly Meredith. Good morning. How are you? Thank you so much for hosting us. We really
Oh,
appreciate
thanks. You
it.
guys have been fabulous. It's like nice to meet all of you. You're all very interesting.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
We fake it well. We fake it
You
well.
fake it well. Okay. Well, good job. Way to do it.
How long have you had this place here in Butternut?
I've had this since 2014. I moved in here in October of 2014. It used to be a heating and plumbing store.
Okay.
And so it was, which is really cool.
Is it one of the older buildings here in Butternut?
Not exactly. My house is actually one of the older. My house is an old saloon. So yeah, woo. Probably from the early 1900s. But this is one of the older ones, and I only lived 3 doors down. So when this came open, I was like, "Hey, let's go."
It's meant to be.
Yes, it
Are
was.
you a native of this area?
I am not. I wish I was. I have family connections. I had an aunt and uncle who lived here in Butternut that people still remember, Otto and Gladys Shakel. People who are old will remember them. But I was not lucky enough to grow up here. I grew up in Milwaukee.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So when you said Milwaukee, I was like, yeah. And then later on, my dad moved us up to Sturgeon Bay. That's where I graduated high school. And then I went to Madison and lived in Madison. I'm a Badger. Yay, UW Madison. Go Badgers.
You're in good company, Todd.
Go
Alba's a Badger,
Badgers.
too. Yeah, all right, yeah.
And then I met my husband there, and we always talked about, gosh, we'd really like to move north. And we were both teachers, and so we made a deal: whoever gets a job first wins. And so my husband got hired in 1991 to be the English teacher here, and so we moved up. And then I taught art in Phillips. So
That's great.
so that's our quick little story how we got here. But we love it here. We just love it here. I can't say enough lovely things about.
And what would if you're trying to explain it to people? How would you explain it to them, Kelly? What makes this so unique and fabulous?
Okay, I have said this in other interviews. Butternut is a kind of place where if you get sick, the entire community will get together. They will throw a fundraiser. They'll take care of your pets. You better show up with a wad of cash and a dish to pass. And you don't ask any stupid questions like, how did you get here? Why are you ill? No, we just jump in. We're a family. We just jump in and we help each other. We just help each other. We're there for each other. And it's incredibly safe. I mean, it's really, you could keep your doors unlocked and everything. You'd be fine.
Although everyone locks their doors in Butternut, just so you know, if you're thinking about doing something nefarious, don't even try it.
Don't even do that.
All right,
Don't even
Jane.
try
My
it.
goodness.
Just saying.
Just say it. So it's a very I find it to be a very welcoming, accepting community, and that's runs against the stereotype of
It does.
because people think, oh, small towns, everybody's narrow-minded, blah 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 blah. They wear white hoods. No, it's not the case. Small towns are much more progressive than I think people give them credit for, and I always like the fact that in a small town you get more hard to explain, but like more authenticity. Across the street is the Butternut Feed Store, which is like the coolest place in the whole wide world. If you're in Butternut, please go now, right now. It's lovely. I always send people over there. When you have only one, like say one grocery store or one gas station or one,
Right.
it allows you to be free and be yourself, as opposed to like say urban. I'll use Madison because I love Madison, but say the suburb, there's always an Olive Garden. There's always,
Right.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel and whatever. You've got that homogenized sort of culture. When you think about cultures in other, like say Europe, when you think about, well, what is that culture really like? What you're actually thinking about is the rural culture. Urban cultures become pretty not monolithic, but pretty
very much the same.
So I
yeah.
love the fact that it's very cozy, it's very unique, and that people are just really loving and very accepting.
Well, you said what you said about people have this assumption that everyone is closed-minded in small towns, and that's kind of the whole motivation behind us traveling around the state.
And thank you.
Because we have so much more in common.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Todd talking, or I was catching bits and pieces of your radio show earlier about how you had said they don't care if you wear a blue hat or a red hat. There are limits.
There are divisions. There are divisions, right?
We don't really like. I mean, if you're super far left, be careful. If you're super far right, maybe. But everything in between, like, hey, we're just here to like be with each other and accept each other and listen and learn and grow.
And we all want the same things.
Well, our interests are all identical. We want
a nice place to live,
right,
a decent job,
exactly,
good schools for our kids,
exactly,
to be able to have someplace to go if you get sick.
Right, exactly.
I just think, again, with politics in particular, it is so easy to say, well, this is a
Yes,
division, and this
yes,
is a division,
yes,
and this
yes,
is a
yes,
division.
yes.
When, and Todd has said this repeatedly too, we have so many more things that bring us together
Oh my gosh.
that,
yes,
that we
yes.
that we need to highlight and focus.
Oh yes, yes.
I think it's also a product of the 24-hour news
Yes.
cycle, where they, in order to manufacture outrage and anger, they have to enforce these divides. Where when you talk to the people on the ground, the voters, the ones who are affected by the big decisions, they affect everyone. And
Right.
like you said, there are people who are super far left, there are people who are super far right, and live your life, do your thing.
Yeah.
But in the middle, some people are saying, like, I just need my school to be better for
Right,
my kids.
exactly.
I need there to be access to a hospital
Right.
further and closer than an hour and a half away. So
Right. I need clean water.
Yes.
yes,
Just
Like,
basics.
Really very
you're just so
simple for
demanding,
everything.
Kelly. Oh my goodness.
They're all things that people could
Yeah.
get on board together with.
Yeah.
And I think when we start to deliberately create divides, we just whip each other into a frenzy and nobody's listening.
But you make a great point in that, unfortunately, with the media landscape the way that it is, outrage sells and division sells, and that's what get clicked. What get clicks and justifies that
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes money, but that's not what we're here to talk about, honestly.
Sorry.
Well, no.
Sorry.
That is what we're here to talk about. The I don't want to talk about the rage factories.
Right. Sorry about that.
This is what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk to the people, and that's why, as you said, we get on the road,
Yeah.
we go out and meet people and have conversations, because that's the only way. My whole life as a city boy, whether it's suburban or urban, I'm a city boy. And when I get to places like this, it's about understanding the needs of other people, as far as like small business owners, people who have farmland, people who are, just doing their lives differently than I know. So I understand from my own perspective, because I can say what I believe, but I also want to factor in other people's wishes and desires in that, so I can be more open-minded. So that's the point of coming here, is understanding those things.
And isn't that the whole point of travel?
Well, yes.
Yes.
And once you meet people, it's a lot harder to stereotype them.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah.
lot harder to put them
Yeah.
in a box.
Absolutely.
Everything becomes much more nuanced and real, and like I said, authentic. So yeah, God bless you for getting on the
We are
road like
we are
this.
so
It's
delighted to
cool.
be
Yeah.
here.
This
We are
is so
we are
cool.
just delighted to be here. If you are just joining us, we are broadcasting live. It's day 2 from Matt and Air on Air and the Todd Alba Show out on the road. We love Wisconsin. We're at the Fanatical Fish Gallery, along with the owner Kelly Meredith, right here in downtown Butternut. If you are in the area, please stop by. We would love to meet you and say hello.
I would like you to stop by.
Absolutely. You have some
Please.
beautiful things
Oh,
here
thanks,
that we'll get to in a minute. But if you are watching on the stream, you can see this incredible piece behind us. I want you to talk a little bit about what you're doing with these kinds of pieces.
Okay, so this piece, I'm almost done. I'm waiting for the client to approve it. So that'll take a couple days. This is for Port Washington, but this is typical of the kind of work I do. The initial thing was to, apparently they had one of the first talkie movies
In Port Washington.
Yeah, exactly. Oddly enough, in 1928, and the poster there, the alias Jimmy Valentine. I'm not a movie person. I don't know what that is. I don't need to know what that is. They want, and then this is going on the east and south wall of this actual theater. It's not a theater anymore. It's called Java Dock Coffee. It's a funky coffee shop. But anyway, so they want to honor their history, this little anecdotal history. A lot of the way these projects get funded, though, is as you see other people. The people are actually sponsored, so each person's a loved one paid for them to be
part
on.
of this.
Now, this is a little trickier because obviously they need to feature the 1920s, so I have to morph these people to fit. So, like your glasses, which would be the classic,
Right.
There's a style of glasses, so that gets changed. Hairstyles are a biggie, especially women's hairstyles.
I bet.
In fact, I'm getting a little blowback on one of them because she has beautiful. In real life, she has beautiful 1950s, gorgeous long locks, and of course, that wasn't the typical hairstyle in the 1920s, and so we're kind of working on that. Sometimes, like having people stand in for another
person.
person
Yeah.
is a little trickier. A lot of my other work, like here in Butternut, and I do a lot of veterans murals, lots of veterans murals. In fact, that's my next project. I'm waiting. Then it's actually your specific identity.
Right.
Then it really is you. But anyway, so yeah.
How many? I'm sorry.
Well, and you also said when we came in earlier that not only are you doing these murals, and we've seen these all over town, but also there are handwritten notes about all of these individuals that the families, because they have to be nominated, correct?
Right. Yes.
And
Yeah.
then they write a handwritten note describing the person and who they were in the community.
Actually, I asked for a handwritten narrative.
Oh,
So,
gotcha. Okay.
That's okay. Tell me their life story in your own handwriting. Because actually, what I do is I literally take the handwriting and project it. I use a
That's
projector
amazing.
and
Yeah.
trace it.
Yeah, of
So
course.
it's like that person's handwriting. Because we all have a story to tell. I mean, and our lives tell such an interesting story. And it's interesting, okay, let's say a person, normal life cycle of a human, they get married, they have children, they have grandchildren, maybe they have great-grandchildren. All those people who are interacting with that life have a different story
Yes.
to tell. So the
Yeah.
story you tell is as much about you as the person's individual life. So here in Butternut, we do this. We honor people and hopefully collecting. Because I am the president of our Butternut Historical Society. By the way, we have a lovely museum.
Oh,
And-
wow.
And actually, Maxine will be on in the afternoon. She's
Okay.
our historian and curator. This is when you think about local history. What is local history? Your local history is basically a collection of all the anecdotal histories, all the people who came and went.
Sure.
And in those stories are also embedded the context, like the industries that were prominent at the time, the politics that was prominent at the time, cultural constraints and liberties at the time. And so you start telling all those stories and putting them together, you get kind of this beautiful mosaic sort of collection
Yeah.
of your town's history. And so I'm honored to get to do
How
that.
many of these have you done for towns around the country?
Okay, I've done a total of 161 murals. This
Oh
is
my
Wow.
gosh.
this is mural 161. I keep track. I
I
don't
would
keep,
too.
I don't keep quite track of how many people I've painted, but I think it's about 1,800.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
How do people find you?
By accident, because I actually I made a deliberate choice a long time ago not to advertise and to have people have to go find me. One of the things I find with being with artists is that everybody's clamoring for attention. Oh, look at me, I'm special, I'm special, I'm special. And that felt like soul rotting to me. Like, please,
So
look
Wisconsin.
at how
Yes.
wonderful I am. And I'm like, no, I don't want to play that game. So I'm out there. People find me by other work. you
And it's
know.
word of mouth.
It's word of mouth. It's piece by piece by piece by piece.
And from conception to putting this up here to the very end where you say I'm done, how long do one of these take you on average?
Okay, this one yesterday was day 22 on this, so 22 days from start to finish to get this.
That's
going.
amazing. We're going to continue talking with Kelly Meredith. She's the owner of the Fanatical Fish Gallery here in downtown Butternut. We are broadcasting live, Matt Nair on air, and the Todd Alba Show on the road. Stay with us. We'll be right back on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Good morning. Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach coming to you live from Butternut, Wisconsin. We are at the Fanatical Fish and Art Gallery here in downtown Butternut. If you are in the area, we would love to have you stop by. Not only is she has such beautiful things here, and we're going to talk about that more in a little bit, but we have Kringle, we have coffee. We would love to meet you if you are in the neighborhood. So we are here until 11 o'clock. Todd Alba will be broadcasting his show here from 2 to 4 today. So come on out and join us. It is a beautifully perfect day.
It is. It's
here
lovely.
in Butternut, Wisconsin. Again, at the Fanatical Fish Art Gallery and Studio. Kelly Meredith, the owner, is here with us, and you were talking about these murals that you do behind us. Talk a little bit about the artist community, because we're really far north.
Yeah, we are.
You know, we
Yeah,
are. And,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you have brochures from there's
Yeah.
art gallery tours and all kinds of things going on up
Yeah,
here.
there's more stuff than you realize. To the east of me is a art tour that runs basically from Lac de Flambeau all the way down to Tomahawk. And
Wow.
it's huge. I think it's like maybe 27 people. And I wish I could recite the website you can go to, but I'll try to do that later. So point being, it's where all the artist studios are open on this one particular day, and it's there's actually 2 art tours. The one in the summer is, I think, the 26th, and then the other one is sometime in October. Anyway, so you can go to these various
Galleries.
and just go meet them, and a lot of them will have demonstrations and explain their work and blah, 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 blah. So that's to the east of us. Just south of here is Phillips and the Concrete Park. And again, if you're looking for an amazing place to go, please go to the Concrete Park. It's the coolest place in the world.
What is that?
Oh my God, you don't know the Concrete Park, the Fred Smith Concrete Park? Okay, you are going to have to do this someday. Just south of here in Phillips is a place. It's a Wisconsin Concrete Park. It's literally all these concrete sculptures. So they're made by a man named Fred Smith, who was an untrained artist. He did it. He was a farmer. He just did it because he liked to do it. And they're cobblestoney. They've got like broken glass in them. They're kind of mosaic-y. There's probably hundreds of sculptures, and they're very folky, but really super cool. I mean, it's a place I want my ashes scattered when I die because it's that cool. I mean, it's just the coolest place. But anyway, point being, they have a gallery. There's a house, the Fred Smith house, and there's a gallery there.
I was going to mention, so I believe it's called the Northwoods Art Tour that you were talking.
Yes,
and I have the website here.
Okay. Oh,
it's
please.
northwoodsarttour.com. All of this information will be in our show notes today. So when you go to the website, civicmedia.us, click on shows, find our show, and if you were interested about it, I'll put that.
Thank you.
Your place will be in there. Unless you don't want me to.
No, please.
Okay, there you go. All right.
I'm not hiding that much.
Okay.
I'm hiding that.
But I'll put the Northwoods Art Tour, and I'm looking at the Fred Smith concrete
it's really cool.
garden. It's amazing.
That's fantastic.
It is amazing, and they have it's called Countryside Artists, and it's in that gallery is inside the house that's right on the park. So, and the arts tour. There's 2 artists in that tour, Lisa Krieger and Francis Whitfield, who are on that tour, who teach classes here at my place. And so a little shout out to both of them because they're lovely people. And then you go north of here is Bayfield, and Bayfield's really a very, very strong artist community.
Yeah.
Lots of art. In fact, I had one of my artists here took a lot of work out and put it in Bayfield because it's doing better. Butternut, unfortunately, is not a high tourist community.
Right.
And I understood that going into this. So in my gallery, I have very local people and people that I've been showing for like 10 years, and I'm getting to watch them grow. Like I'll put a shout out to Mary Zimmerman. She's a watercolor artist in Park Falls. She was one of the first people I started showing in 2015 when I opened. I've gotten to watch Mary grow and develop her style, and she takes classes and she keeps experimenting, and so that's really exciting to see that.
Well, as a teacher, that must that's everything
that's
for
what
you,
want.
right?
I've always said I feel just as happy when I sell someone else's work as I do with my own. It's like, yay, you had an opportunity, and having sold my own work, it never gets old selling your own work. It's like, oh, somebody
liked that.
I think somebody likes me.
Well, and I think too, just in talking to you, when we were talking a little bit earlier just about stereotypes that people have.
Yes.
And I think us urban dwellers can be a bit snobbish and think we are the center of the world and we are the only place where art happens. And there's, it's a vast wasteland.
Yes.
That's not true. There's art and artists everywhere.
I can't believe how many times people from the city have come in here and gone, wow, this is actually good. like it is this major, earth-shattering revelation.
Well, and that's something that's actually, I would say, about all of Wisconsin, because even in a place like Milwaukee, the biggest city in the state, people from Chicago, I work with people from all over the world, but specifically like LA, New York, Chicago, they come to Wisconsin for the first time, and I would say if they're open-minded and willing to go out in the world and explore it, they're going to come back and say, I had no idea that you guys had it. It's like, I understand we very much project and don't push back on the whole local yokel farmer, blah, blah, blah.
Cheesehead.
But they don't understand that this state has great art, great beauty, wonderful business, and what's great about Wisconsin is incredibly affordable compared to a lot of other cities out there. So it doesn't surprise me that people come in and are astounded by the art because they don't expect that from small towns, but also from a state like Wisconsin, which I say come to Wisconsin and be amazed because that's what we do here.
Right, exactly. I totally agree.
Come to Wisconsin and be amazed.
There you go.
Who can we sell that to?
Yeah, there.
We're gonna get that on a shirt.
Exactly,
Governor Evers, you're going to have it.
Exactly.
No, you can't.
For as long as it lasts. Yes, Kelly Meredith is our guest. We are broadcasting live from the Fanatical Fish Gallery and a studio here in downtown Butternut. Coming up next hour, in hour number 2, Brittany Merlot will be here, Civic Media meteorologist with a little weather and wine. Audio sorbet after 10:30. We want your Ollie and Lena jokes. Greg has never heard any Ollie and Lena jokes.
Really? Whoa.
We're going to continue our conversation with Kelly Meredith on the other side. Stay with us. You are listening to Matt and Air on Air on the vast, statewide, countrywide, pick us up globally on the app, the Civic Media Radio Network.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.